Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's our third lecture of pericyclic chemistry. In our last class, we studied molecular orbitals and symmetry elements. Basically, today's lecture is the extension of the same topic. That is, we are going to learn molecular orbital and the symmetry relationship, but a bit more in detail. In today's lecture, we shall discuss some basic concepts needed to learn more about molecular orbitals and molecular orbital correlation diagrams. And in the last part, we shall discuss about the practical analysis of orbital symmetry. Let's have an overview of some representative pericyclic reactions. We have already discussed the basics of these reactions. However, here I want you to have another look on which atoms or orbitals may be involved in the reaction and how they help each other to decide whether a particular reaction is allowed or not. For example, we talk about electrocyclic reaction. As you can see, for reaction to proceed, all the p orbitals constituting this conjugated system, they are involved. But what is crucial are the terminal carbon atoms. Similar is the case of sigmatropic reaction. In case of cycloaddition reaction, we say that reactants must have their orbital symmetries matched together in order to complete the reaction, in order to progress the reaction. Basically, you can say that in case of group transfer reaction, the orbitals of transferring group, they also must be in symmetry with the position where they end up. So in all these reactions, you have to keep this thing in mind, that the reactants will react only if the reacting species, they have their orbital symmetry aligned with each other. This is a basic concept about electrocyclic reaction. We may have another lecture on detailed study of conrotatory or disrotatory rotation, but this basic concept you need to understand how symmetry operations are employed to study the molecular orbitals diagrams of reactants when changing into products. Basically, in electrocyclic reaction, these two terminologies are used, conrotatory and disrotatory, based on the rotation at the end of the molecule. In conrotatory mode, both atomic orbitals of n group, they turn into same direction, such as both atomic orbitals rotating, either they rotate clockwise or they can rotate anti-clockwise, but their direction shall be the same. It could be ring opening or ring closing. In both way, the terminal, you can say the terminal orbitals, they shall move. And in disrotatory mode, atomic orbitals at the end groups, they turn in opposite direction. You can see in the figures too how the movement of these orbitals is necessary to close the ring, or in the opening of ring the same process reverses. So in disrotatory mode, atomic orbitals of the end groups, they turn either one of them turn clockwise and the other turn anti-clockwise. So this is how cis or trans geometry of the final product, it is decided by differences conrotation or disrotation. Basically, determining whether a particular reaction is conrotatory or disrotatory, it can be accomplished by examining the molecular orbitals of each molecule. I already told you about this thing, that only if the just like if you see in the conrotatory mode, if these two orbitals they move in the same in the opposite direction, then the overlap won't be successful, because in this case the overlap is between opposite signs of lobes, so that won't help to proceed the reaction. So you have to be precise that which kind of lobes are you can say the mathematical signals of these lobes of p orbitals, they combine together to form the product. And basically, how many electrons are pi system and whether the reaction is induced by heat or light, these two things, they decide that whether conrotation or disrotation it will occur at that time. Basically, talking about correlation diagrams, they show energy diagrams of original electron orbitals and the resulting molecular orbitals. The image you can see in the diagram below, The correlation diagram below shows an example of atom A and atom B. They combine into molecule AB. By including the individual atoms and the molecules on the same diagram, the change in the energy of orbitals, it can be compared. Like here, atom A and B, they seem to have same energy, but actually it is not true always. They, for as per rule, they should have comparable energy. If they have very large energy gaps between atom A and atom B, then the reaction may not be feasible with large energy gaps. Okay, let's talk about the energy correlation diagram of and have an example of electrocyclization of butadiene. When we talk about butadiene, then we can have a aluconate structure. They are basically 4 carbon atoms, and they are 4 carbon-carbon single. There are 3 carbon-carbon basically single bonds and 2 carbon-carbon double bonds. If we draw its structure in the next diagram, if you can see that we just have drawn the carbon-carbon single bond or carbon-hydrogen single bond. For carbon-carbon double bond, we have mentioned the p orbitals as such. I mean, before without showing their overlap. So what happens in the electrocyclization, that the terminal carbon atom, they should overlap with each other and then make a cyclic structure. But before it happens, we have to consider that how the molecular orbital picture or molecular orbital diagram can be drawn. We know that in molecular orbital theory, what we do, that we draw an energy profile, and in case of energy profile, what happens, that you have to place the lowest energy molecular orbital at the lowest level, and then with each level rising its energy, you have to arrange them accordingly within the energy profile. But how we can see that the energies of these molecular orbital differ from each other? If you will see that first we discussed in previous lecture that number of nodes are very crucial for molecular orbital, because number of nodes can decide the energy of a molecular orbital. So we start from the lowest possible diagram, or you can say the structure or configuration, where they have the least number of nodes. Just like in the first you can say the pi 1 kind of molecular orbital. In this case, there is no node present, because node is a place, we discussed before too, that node is a place where probability of finding of electron is 0. You can see where we see the sign in Yn. You see that there in the first structure, the lowest structure, the signs of all p orbitals, they are very you can say that synchronized. They are, the positive lobes are all on the same side. You can see the white or colorless lobes or transparent lobes, they are on the same side. In case of pi 2, what happens, that there is one sign in Yn. We go from the positive side, and then you go to the gray or negative side. So there is a one node present in pi 2. It means that pi 2 is at higher energy than pi 1. When we talk about pi 3, then there are 2 sign in Yns. It means there are 2 nodes present. Similarly, from pi 3 to pi 4, energy is again raised by the presence of 3 nodes in the molecular orbital. So these are the 4 different levels of, you can say that molecular orbitals of butadiene. But when we talk about electrons, say how come the electrons are filled in these orbitals? We say that the electrons are filled from the lowest energy possible. So because there are 4 carbon atoms and each of them has 1 electron, contributing 1 electron. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons. So what happens then, in one orbital, molecular orbital, we can't place more than 2 electrons. So pi 1 has 2 electrons, and then the next 2 electron goes to the next possible higher energy, that is pi 2. So the next pi 3 and pi 4, they are left empty. But there is another term we use for these in this energy correlation diagram, that is HOMO and LUMO, that is the highest occupied molecular orbital and lowest occupied molecular orbital. So highest occupied molecular orbital in this energy diagram is pi 2, and the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital is pi 3, because it doesn't have any electron and it has the lowest possible energy of all the unoccupied molecular orbitals. Okay, on this slide, this is the further explanation of electrocyclization of butadiene. If you see the energy correlation diagram, then in the middle what we can see is the same diagram we studied in the previous slide, but what's different in here is that we are going to characterize them, or you can say categorize them according to the symmetry operations with respect to you can say the mirror plane, or with respect to the two-fold axis of symmetry. If you talk about the pi 1, or you can say the first lowest energy molecular orbital of butadiene, then it has you can say that it has symmetric with respect to mirror plane, and it's also is asymmetric with respect to C2 axis. But when we talk about the next one, we talk about the pi 2 structure, then this one as we say that this one is HOMO, then about HOMO we say that it is asymmetric with respect to mirror plane, and C2 for C2 it is symmetric with respect to C2 axis, the two-fold axis of symmetry. So in this way we can categorize them, or we can specify their you can say that symmetries with respect to their sigma and C2 symmetry properties. But when we talk about the cyclobutene, in case of cyclobutene we are drawing structure, because when we say that atomic orbitals they mix together to form the new molecular orbital. So the reactant has this kind of structure, but in product we have this kind of geometry that there are 4 carbons in a circle attached to each other, and then the 2 carbons which are crucial are the terminal carbon. So in that case, if you talk about the first structure, then they overlap in such a way that their lobes have the same, you can say that we talk about the number of nodes. So the first structure, it doesn't have any node present, so it has the similar lobes you can say overlapping with each other. And in the next structure too, because in this structure again the number of nodes should be 1, so the node comes between the other side, so its structure should be like this. And similarly you can draw the structures of the other 2 molecular orbitals of these we say that cyclobutene, because in this case we have one sigma bond that is newly formed and one pi bond. So sigma bond has the lowest energy, then we go to pi bond. So in case of sigma bond, the positive lobe overlap with each other in a, you can say, head to head, and in case of pi bond the positive lobes they connect together or are overlap together in a constructive way. But in case of, then comes the energy of pi star, and in pi star there shall be one node between you can say that in p orbitals that have to overlap side by side. And in case of sigma star, you know that the overlapping orbitals from head to head they have this sign invariance. So this way sigma, pi star and pi star they can be shown here. The next thing, just like we did with respect to sigma symmetry for C2 symmetry for these original reactant molecule, then reactant molecular orbital. Similarly, we can draw the molecular orbital. We can carry out these symmetry operations on these product molecular orbitals too. So in case of sigma, we say that this is symmetric with respect to both sigma or C2 symmetry, and then it's not symmetric with this. It is symmetric with respect to both mirror plane and also C2 axis. But it is symmetric when we talk about pi. It is symmetric with respect to mirror plane, but it is not symmetric with respect to C2 axis, because in case of pi bond you can have just like a mirror plane inserted between these 2 lobes of p orbitals. But if you so they can be symmetric, but in case of pi orbital, if you rotate them by 180 degrees, then the structure differs from the original molecule, so it is not symmetric with respect to C2. But in case if you talk about pi star, in case of pi star it is not symmetric, it is asymmetric with respect to mirror plane, because you put a plane between these 2 orbitals and they are not the mirror images. But when we talk about pi star orbital, and it's what you say that it's when we carry out C2 symmetry operation on this pi star, then what happens that you rotate it by 180 degrees angle and we get the same structure. So we say that this one is symmetric with respect to C2 symmetry. So we can assign these asymmetric or symmetric labels to all these molecular orbitals, and then we can have a look at which kind of you say that transformations or which kind of reactions are allowed and which kind of reactions are not allowed. This was all the basis that I want you to have a look. Now we talk about the construction. Basically these things I have used a book for this one, and I'll give you the reference at the end of the lecture, so please follow that reference to study the electrocyclization of these energy correlation diagrams of electrocyclization of butadiene. Then you can have a very better understanding of this lecture too. When we talk about the construction of correlation diagram, and information can be obtained that is shown in here in the figure. Only we say that only the 4 molecular orbitals of butadiene and the newly formed these sigma and sigma stars molecular orbitals, they are considered, because the other 2 orbitals sigma or pi, you say that, because some orbitals they are not considered because they have minor energy changes as butadiene cyclizes to cyclobutene. So we only consider those orbitals, just like in the reactant molecule we say that HOMO and LUMO, they are important. You can see the other orbitals, they are not that important because they are not contributing in the reaction. So assuming that electrons remain the same in the same orbital as butadiene distorts, then we say that reaction, what we talk about this disrotatory thing, that symmetrical molecular orbital, it can convert to symmetrical orbital, and then the electrons can go from the symmetric orbital, the pi 1 to sigma 1. But in case of pi 2, we have electrons cannot transfer to pi molecular orbital of butadiene, because in this case the symmetry thing, it doesn't help it, because in case of disrotation, for symmetry operation, if their symmetries don't match, then it means the electron can't transfer to pi 2 like pi 2 of butadiene to pi of cyclobutane. So it can only transfer from the pi 2 to pi star, because they have the similar symmetry and comparable energy, but this is non-energetically favorable because the energy gap is there. So we say that distrotatory, you can say the disrotative mode of rotation, it is not favorable if we consider this sigma symmetry. But when we talk about C2, what happens that because electrons have to move with respect to energies. So first electron move from there are 4 electrons, so we do the electron filling like in the sigma first and then to the pi first. In this case you can say that from the asymmetric pi 1 of butadiene, electrons shift to asymmetric pi orbital, and from the symmetric you say that pi 2 orbital of butadiene, they shift to the asymmetric sigma orbital of cyclobutene. In this case the electron filling is that you have 2 electrons in the first orbital, lowest possible orbital of cyclobutene, and then 2 electrons in the pi orbital. But we talk about the electronic filling of cyclobutene in case of disrotatory function, then electrons can't be in the pi orbital. So we say that this thing doesn't look so much favorable. अगेन मैं इसको एक दफ़ा रिवाइज कर देती हूँ ताकि आपको जो है ना इसको समझना आसान हो जाए. बट वट आई वॉन्ट यू टू अंडरस्टैंड इज़ कि आप जो है ब्यूटाडाइन के जितने ऑर्बिटल मॉलिक्यूलर ऑर्बिटल्स हैं उनको असाइन करते हैं सिमेट्रिक और एसिमेट्रिक लेबल्स. किसकी बेस पे? सिमेट्री ऑपरेशंस की बेस पे. इट कुड बी सिग्मा और यू कैन से दैट इट कुड बी मिरर प्लेन सिमेट्री, इट कुड बी C2 सिमेट्री. वन थिंग. एंड देन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट साइक्लोब्यूटीन, तो साइक्लोब्यूटीन के मॉलिक्यूलर ऑर्बिटल्स भी आप इस तरह से ड्रॉ करेंगे ना कि एक सिग्मा बॉन्ड बन रहा है, एक पाई बॉन्ड बन रहा है. सिग्मा एंड पाई हैज लोअर एनर्जी एंड पाई स्टार एंड सिग्मा स्टार दे हैव हायर एनर्जी. जितनी एनर्जी स्टेबलाइजेशन होती है सिग्मा की, उतनी ही एनर्जी डिस्टेबलाइजेशन होगी सिग्मा स्टार की. सो देयर एनर्जी गैप इज़ द हाईएस्ट. इसी तरह से पाई और पाई स्टार आ जाते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये एनर्जी मॉलिक्यूलर डायग्राम्स जो है वो हम ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. देन इनके मॉलिक्यूलर ऑर्बिटल्स कैसे बनते हैं इसके बारे में भी मैंने आपको बताया कि पाई जो है उसके दरमियान में एक नोट, जितनी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता नोट जो है वो ज़्यादा होती जाती हैं जब हम बात करते हैं मॉलिक्यूलर ऑर्बिटल्स की, उसी तरह से उनकी एनर्जी ज़्यादा होती जाती है. अगेन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट डिस्ट्रोटेटरी और कॉन्ड्रोटेटरी, वी टॉक दैट डिस्ट्रोटेटरी में मूवमेंट है इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में, कॉन्ड्रोटेटरी में दे मूव टुवर्ड्स सेम डायरेक्शन. सो व्हाट गोज ऑन दैट, इसके केस में क्या है कि यहाँ पे सिमेट्रिक से सिमेट्रिक में ही इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ट्रांसफर हो सकते हैं. वाई कॉन्ड्रोटेटरी इज फेवर्ड हेयर, बिकॉज इन दिस केस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो हैं उनकी फीलिंग हम एनर्जी वाइज करते हैं. हमने कहा था पहले लोएस्ट ऑक्यूपाइड एनर्जी से फिर हम उससे हायर में जाते हैं, देन हायर में जाते हैं, देन वी गो टू हाईएस्ट एनर्जी लेवल. तो सिग्मा इज फिल्ड फर्स्ट एंड पाई इज फिल्ड सेकेंड. बट इन दिस केस कॉन्ड्रोटेटरी दिस इज फिजिबल. In case of distrotatory, it is not feasible because we have to move electrons to pi, not in pi star. So we say that from symmetric to symmetric electrons can move, but asymmetric to symmetric they cannot move. So distrotatory is not favorable here. So what we say here that when we talk about, because this one is we say it 4 pi electron system because this is butadiene. So butadiene में 4 pi electrons, kondrotatory is favorable when we talk about C2 symmetry operation. I hope it is clear now. When we have a discussion about the basic characteristics of pericyclic reaction, then we talk that these reaction can be catalyzed or promoted by either thermal initiation, or it can be the photochemical, you can say that there could be light that initiates this reaction, because they needs you can say something spike to initiate this reaction. So what happens, and in what we studied in the previous slide, this was a thermal reaction of butadiene, electrocyclization of butadiene to cyclobutene. But what happens when we use a photochemical initiation, like when we use light to initiate this reaction, then in that case we know that we talked about 4 energy levels of butadiene. In that case we said that HOMO is the one that has to lead the reaction, because HOMO is the main you can say that reacting molecular orbital. So in case of HOMO, it should be the pi 2. We call that molecular orbital as pi 2, and you can say that psi 2. You can use this kind of designation for this one. So HOMO of thermal electrocyclization of butadiene is psi 2 basically. So from psi 2, when we carry out you can say kondrotatory motion, in that of kondrotatory motion the molecular the p orbitals at the terminal position, they have to rotate in the same direction. If they rotate in the same direction, then the lobes have the same size signs. So the bonding is allowed, and there is only one node there that was in the other p orbitals behind. And also we saw that this is symmetrically allowed reaction. So in case of distrotatory, what we said that when we carry out the mirror plane symmetry operation, then in that case we couldn't see the you can say that the electronic transfer was not favorable, so it was forbidden kind of distrotatory rotation was not allowed. So we said that thermal 4 pi type of you say that electronic distrotation, or you can say that electrocyclization was not allowed. But what happens when we talk about photochemical reaction? Basically in photochemical reaction what happens that electrons, they originally they were in some energy levels, like they were in psi 1 and psi 2, or you can say pi 1 or pi 2 energy levels. There were 2 electrons in pi 1 and 2 electrons in pi 2. But when we use a initiator like light, So it excites electron from pi 2 to pi 3. When electrons move from pi 2 to pi 3, then in that case the highest occupied molecular orbital it changes. When it changes, it means the reaction chemistry is changed. Now we have to the original molecular orbital of reactant that has to undergo the reaction, it is changed now. So here we are considering you say that psi 3 or pi 3 for the distrotatory or conrotatory motion. So from the diagram to apart from the symmetry operation, if you see the diagram here, so in that case if we carry out the distrotatory motion, then the same lobes they could overlap each other and the bonding is allowed here, because this the transition state it has zero node. I mean, you don't have to worry about because in nodes so much, because these nodes are arranged according to the energy level. So from psi 3 to this kind of situation where zero node is present, it means that we talked about this thing too before, that from when we carry out the, in the previous slide we checked that if we carry out symmetry operations too, then the third level it was you can say that it was symmetric, and from symmetric to symmetric the transition was allowed. So here in photochemical you can say that electrocyclization of butadiene, distrotatory motion is allowed, but in case of conrotation overlapping is not feasible because lobe signs they don't match. And this is just not about these signs of these lobe. If you carry out the symmetry operations here again, just like we did in case of thermal electrocyclization of butadiene, then you will see that same happens here, that psi 3 has the same, like psi 3 has the symmetry matched with the lowest possible you say the energy level of cyclobutene, that was, we know that sigma 1. In case of sigma, it has the symmetry, I mean their symmetry matched with the psi 3 one. So in the other one we say that sigma star or whatever it is. So in that case you say that our pi orbital, you say, because electrons in cyclobutene they go in two orbitals like sigma and then to pi. So in that case first by disrotation we move electron to sigma orbital, but in case of conrotation if you carry out this reaction, this is not feasible because the overlapping of we say that this one is not feasible, and also symmetry operation also won't allow it, because from psi 3 to this one shall be, because this one is sigma star, because there is the opposite overlap of p orbital from head to head. So in this case sigma star is very higher in energy, so this conrotation is not allowed in photochemical reactions. Okay, we are moving to the next part of the lecture, that is practical orbital symmetry analysis. For this one again I have to say you that just consider the book written by Mr. Hooke. So for that thing let's consider the example of the ring opening of bicyclobutane. For this given example, how does one go about determining whether a reaction is formally symmetrically allowed or forbidden? In normally what happens that in symmetrical cases correlation diagram can be constructed, or you can say alternatively one can determine whether the transition state should be aromatic, or the system can be divided into frontier orbitals which overlap in phase. जैसे हमने पहले किया ना कि हम क्या करते हैं कि कोई भी किसी भी रिएक्शन की जो है ना वो फिजिबिलिटी चेक करने के लिए या तो उसकी सिमेट्री ऑपरेशंस करते हैं, या फिर जो है ना वो डिफरेंट उसके ऑर्बिटल डायग्राम्स कंस्ट्रक्ट करके देन फ्रंटियर मॉलिक्यूलर अप्रोच के थ्रू जो है वो डिसाइड करते हैं वेदर जो है ना दे कैन ओवरलैप इन फेज और नॉट. सो जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस द जनरल rule developed by Woodward and Hoffman makes all these quasi-theoretical approaches unnecessary, since one need to determine only the stereochemistry of the addition of each bond to determine whether a reaction is allowed or forbidden. What I meant here is that there are certain rules set by Woodward and Hoffman they say that we can only determine the stereochemistry of each bond, whether a reaction is allowed or forbidden. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे हमने पहले बात की है कि बाईसाइक्लोब्यूटेन रिंग ओपनिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. इन बाईसाइक्लोब्यूटेन रिंग ओपनिंग देयर आर 3 पॉसिबिलिटीज विच आर 3 डाइसब्स्टिट्यूटेड ब्यूटाडाइंस would arise by thermally allowed concerted pathway. हमारे पास 3 possibilities हैं, but we are not sure that which one of them would be the outcome of this reaction. So how we can decide that which one is the allowed one? So in general it is easier to analyze the reaction from the side of the more unsaturated partner. जैसे अगर हम more unsaturated partner की बात करें तो हमने क्या किया कि हम ये क्योंकि ये रिवर्सिबल रिएक्शन है ना, इलेक्ट्रोसाइक्लाइजेशन या आप यूँ कह लें कि रिंग ओपनिंग रिएक्शन जो है, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे रिंग ओपनिंग हो रही है, द अदर वे अराउंड इट शैल बी इलेक्ट्रोसाइक्लाइजेशन. तो वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द इलेक्ट्रोसाइक्लाइजेशन रिएक्शन टू रिंग ओपनिंग रिएक्शन टू द रिंग ओपनिंग द अदर प्रोडक्ट. अब इसमें जो सबसे ज़्यादा सब्स्टिट्यूटेड केस है, मतलब सब्स्टिट्यूशन तो सारे सिमिलर हैं, लेकिन हम यूँ कह लें कि इनमें से 3 पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हैं. हम वहाँ से स्टार्ट करते हैं. द मोर अनसैचुरेटेड रिएक्शन पार्टनर इज प्लेस्ड रफली इन द कन्फर्मेशन ऑफ द मोर सैचुरेटेड पार्टनर. द एडिशन स्टीरियोकेमिस्ट्रीज आर मोर इजीली एनालाइज्ड. आप क्या करते हैं, आपके पास 3 पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हैं, आप इनको जो है वो इस तरह से अरेंज करते हैं जैसे हमारे पास थर्ड फॉर्म है ना, जहाँ पे ये एक दूसरे से ट्रांस हैं, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा फेवरेबल, अगर आप स्टेबिलिटी की बात करें तो ये सबसे ज़्यादा स्टेबल होता है, तो आप इसको यहाँ से स्टार्ट करते हैं, ठीक है. फॉर रिएक्शन अंडर कंसिडरेशन द स्क्यू, इसको स्क्यू कन्फॉर्मेशन कहते हैं. स्क्यू कन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ट्रांसब्यूटीन विच ग्रॉसली रिजेंबल्स बाईसाइक्लोब्यूटेन इज द बेस्ट स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. अच्छा, और इसमें मेनली जो है वो यही स्टेरिक रीजंस ही हैं कि इसकी स्टेबिलिटी ज़्यादा होगी कंपेयर टू अदर्स, क्योंकि ये ट्रांस है. अच्छा, अगली बात हम कहते हैं कि स्टेरिक रीजंस की वजह से हम जब हमारे पास ये कन्फर्मेशन, ये स्ट्रक्चर आ गया, जैसे हमने ये नीचे वाली जो इक्वेशन है उसमें अगर आप देखें ना, तो इसमें क्या है कि इसमें 1, 2, 3 and 4 there are 4 carbon atoms. For purely steric reason, the bottom lobe of orbital 2, orbital 2 से मुराद the orbital on carbon number 2. The bottom lobe of orbital 2 can overlap with the bond to atom 4 in the reaction. Similarly, bottom lobe of atom 1 can overlap with the bottom lobe of carbon 3. इस तरह से these relationships are represented by heavy arrows. Now if we arbitrarily select the top lobe of atom 4 to become bonded with the bottom lobe at atom 2, now we can connect 4 and 2 together and 1 and 3 together. इसको जो है हम कहेंगे कि this one is allowed because bond represented by arrows are formed, the trans-butadiene इस तरह से हमारे पास बन जाएगी, और इसको हम कहेंगे कि ये जो है वो एनर्जेटिकली जो है वो फेवरेबल है. मतलब ये और प्रैक्टिकली भी एनालाइज किया गया कि द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट वाज दिस वन. सो हाउ कम दे इन्फर्ड दिस पॉइंट, दे चेक द प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच यही थी कि हम स्टीरियोकेमिस्ट्री और उसकी स्टेबिलिटी की बेस पे इसको एनालाइज करते. सो देयर आर मैनी डिफरेंट पॉसिबल वेज जिनकी बेस पे हम जो है वो बता सकते हैं. वी कैन सी हाउ उनमें से एक सिमेट्री ऑपरेशन से, देन फ्रंटियर ऑर्बिटल अप्रोच है, द अदर थिंग इज स्टीरियोकेमिस्ट्री. Here few references that I used for this lecture, and these references are very important. If you have a look, then you will have a better understanding of the lecture. About this book reference, you can find it online too if you Google it. If you don't find it, then just ask me, I'll send you the PDF file. And for the other book, I would suggest that try to search them yourself so that you can understand how to download books and how to read the books. Again, I'm on your backup. If you can't download them, then I shall provide you with these books. But better go through them for these lectures like molecular orbital symmetry and especially energy correlation diagram. I have assignment for you, just like we discussed today, the energy correlation diagram with symmetry operation C2 and sigma. For thermal conversion of butadiene to cyclobutene. I have told you about photochemical conversion, that electrons move from pi 2 to pi 3. So you have to make the similar diagram, but with HOMO. Now HOMO is psi 3 or pi 3 of butadiene. So you have to see if the conversions, counterrotatory or disrotatory rotations or modes are possible for this electrocyclization reactions or not.